So I have this camera pointed at my ceiling for fear of further heckling from people in Wisconsin and from the police. Today is August 12th, 2007. I just posted my page, Milwaukee for Truth and Change, on MySpace. I got a phone call from a Menasha City police officer, badge number 67. His name is Officer Lenss, Lenss, calling me regarding text messages sent from a cell phone. I don't use a cell phone. I use a landline with a cord. So he continued to ask me questions whether this phone number was mine. And I told him no, it wasn't. But he kept trying to get information out of me. And I said, you know, that's my answer. My answer is no. He proceeded to ask me for personal information such as my date of birth, my social security number, etc. I said, I am not giving you personal information over the phone. Number one. Number two, I don't have to answer any of your questions just because you called me at my home. His response to that was, you are being uncooperative, therefore I am going to assume that it is you. End quote. So I was accused, arrested, questioned, tried on the telephone, and found guilty by Officer Lenss of the Menasha City Police, badge number 67, Lenss. Phone number to the Menasha Police is 920-967-3500. Now, my feeling, there's a cell of children up there, and I call them children for the lack of a better term. They're teenagers, and they don't like certain views. Apparently they are anti-truthers. I will be posting names and email addresses for them. They're the ones that continue to send threatening, degrading emails via the internet. Of course, the officer didn't want to hear anything about that. But at the end of the conversation, he did threaten to call the Milwaukee police, which is where I'm recording from, to call the Milwaukee police and have them come to my home and get my birth date and my personal information from me. So, I looked it up on the internet about police questioning, and I have found responding to questions before an arrest. Does a person have to respond to police questions if he or she has not been arrested? A police officer cannot arrest a person simply for failure to respond to questions. The Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees the right of silence. This means that unless a police officer has probable cause to make an arrest or a reasonable suspicion, and they're talking about a stop and frisk, to conduct a stop and frisk, a person approached by the police officer has the legal right to refuse to answer questions regarding Miranda rights and demanding personal information. Another situation where answers to police questions are usually required is when drivers are stopped For suspected traffic violation, an officer has the right to demand personal identification. A driver's refusal, we're talking about drivers, not a person in their own home answering their own telephone. A driver's refusal to supply the information elevates the situation to a more serious offense for which the driver usually can be arrested. The simple refusal to answer questions is not a crime, but the refusal to supply identification combined with the suspected commission of a traffic offense is. I didn't commit a traffic offense. I didn't commit any offense. It's obvious that these children are very uneducated. I continuously post the emails that I get from them, and I will continue to do so. So he told me he was going to call the Milwaukee cops and send them over here. I haven't seen them yet. Perhaps tomorrow. My suggestion to him was, since I'm saying that the cell phone was not mine, that perhaps he should try calling a cell phone company or two and try and find out whose it is, because it certainly is not mine. But if they think that they can just push citizens around like this, they've got another thing coming. It can't be done. There's a statute, 1983, that talks about, I don't have it right in front of me, but it talks about police misconduct with, in regards to the Bill of Rights, and it happens all the time. And I'm not going to stand for it. I don't trust police officers. I don't trust anybody in our government. So that's my stand on it. I'll keep you posted as to what happens in the proceedings, and I'll also post his name, badge number, and phone number if you'd like to contact him. Thank you so much for listening.